Hello and welcome to your favorite stock market business, all kinds of great, let's say, entrepreneurial issues podcast. It's called the Stock Hypers at the moment, right, Danny?
That is correct. That is a pending change, possibly.
Right. And
Yes.
what was the thing that you wanted to change it to, Danny? Tell me what your big idea is for the name of the podcast.
Well, there's a lot of them. There's Buy Now, Danny Later.
Okay.
I think the one that you wanted was Danny and the Danette,
There
but
you
that allowed
go.
me to be the Danette. So
Okay. So if you can
that's
get that domain name, I think we'd be golden to go that direction.
it's a couple million, but I think it's worth it, Brian.
There.
How are your stocks going, Brian? Quite the day as we wait
Yeah,
for the
I've
video.
been having a good day on the stock market, but it's if you take it for the whole like a whole week, boy,
Let's
what
not.
that's
Let's
not.
not.
I agree. Today I'm up maybe two and a half. I was up almost four and a half, and it's kind of slithered
Oh.
down a bit. Gave me an opportunity to sell some stuff I'm not don't have a high conviction in. I got out of the SQs with a nice gain, and
And
now
that's
I'm in.
the shorts, right?
That's the short of the queues, yep. And
Okay.
now I'm in the bull of the queues just for the moment, hoping that
Wow,
not a
Brian.
not a big look. I did like 1,000, maybe $1,200 worth of the T queues, which is the bullish queues, just in hope of Nvidia kind of bringing the market back to where we hope it'll be.
So just for reference, it's Wednesday, the 26th of February. It's after the 4-day bloodbath. So it's kind of, I think we're all relieved that stocks had a nice rebound.
Hmm.
No matter if it's a dead cat bounce
And the
or
market's closed, right? Or not yet? Not
it's
yet.
closing in 4 more minutes and we're all waiting for Nvidia. Also, Snowflake and Salesforce for me are big, fairly good ones for me.
Oh,
So I
you're on
think it's all
Salesforce as
Nvidia.
well.
I mean, it's just
Okay.
all Nvidia, Brian. That's all that matters right now.
For those watching the video, I'm going to bring up NVIDIA right now on the screen. It looks like 4 minutes from the close, right? So
Correct.
NVIDIA today is up about 4%.
The unkillable Nvidia. Yeah.
Mhm.
What's your prediction, Brian? Let's just get that real quick.
Well, I think that we had the issue with DeepSeek maybe a month ago, right? Or maybe a little bit longer, where that
Mhm.
brought NVIDIA come crashing down, and they've recovered since then. So I don't think growth is going to be huge. I think more what we have to closely watch is the on the guidance looking forward if people are canceling their orders or
They're
something
not.
like that. I don't think that's
I don't
going to
know.
happen though, but
I
I
don't
think
know.
Nvidia is
Just
going
a
to do
sentiment.
fine. I don't think it's going to be a big swing either way, but I'd
I
love it
have
to be
no
a big
idea,
swing
Brian.
up.
I have no idea. I've been holding on. I'm just concerned, Brian, as we have talked about before. Uh, I don't know. Could be a crash or a recession coming up, right? With all the job loss, all the Doge cuts. Seemingly now, if you fire people, no one cares. Remember, big companies, private. Now it's like shit. We're laughing about, firing people in government jobs, which I'm all for trimming the fat, but I don't know.
There's a real world impact to it once there's a higher unemployment rate. But I think that once the unemployment rate has gone up, then I think stocks will then go up. I think then it's like the sign that it's maybe over, and then we're going to have a little bit looser going forward monetary policy from the Fed. But at the moment, we don't have high unemployment, and I don't think the stock market can handle the way that the earnings are going and the high valuations everything is at. That's my worry.
Sure, it's
The,
just it
the
ran really
economy
high.
and the stock market are two different entities, right? They don't always ride the same
Don't
direction
always, well,
together.
that's the thing. But at a certain point though, if you have tariffs, which will slow things down,
Yeah.
who knows? Uncertainty is never good. That much we know, correct?
Yeah. And that's
So,
my fear for the market. I think the last 2 days where we had some big drawdowns, and I guess even like the last 7 days has not been good.
yeah.
I think that's a scary sign. I think that you have retail buying the dip, but you have institutions continuing to sell on that liquidity.
Mhm.
And you saw Buffett just last weekend having an enormous cash on hand.
Which he's had. Well, it's the thing is, even during, bubbles bursting or drawdowns, there's always gonna be bumps up. But we have had these, we have them all the time. So who knows? Predicting the future as hard as we know. So are you gonna buy some stuff, Brian, or not?
Am I buying stuff? I don't
I'm
think
on
so,
hold.
Danny. I think I'm
No.
going to, I actually have things sell. So we had talked about this maybe a few months ago where I was kind of belly aching about the market going to go down, that we're going to go into a recession. So I've been a bear for about 4, 5, 6 months, somewhere around there. And so I had put stops, rolling stops, trailing stops into my Magnificent Seven holdings in my IRAs. So those all had peaked maybe a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, and some of them have been triggered. So I had a trigger for Nvidia, so I don't have Nvidia. I had a trigger for Meta maybe yesterday or the day before. I don't
And
have
these
Meta.
were for Brian, 10% drawdowns, is that right?
I had no 10% I thought was just a little too like tight. So
Mhm.
I did a 12 and some of them were 20. The ones that I did, it depended on how much increase I had. So if it was a big increase, like in Palantir or Nvidia, then I was doing a 20% because I was giving it a little bit of space and I had
Okay.
a lot of room to work with. But now that portfolio is almost half cash because of all of those sales. So I'm not in a rush to jump back in. I'm going to wait to see what happens.
Hmm.
And,
Interesting.
I still feel a little bearish.
Well, look who's had a tough day has been Instacart, Maple Bear. They need to change that name. They have went from 53 to 42. They've had a rough go of it, Brian. I'm getting nervous on the Nvidia here, Chief.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
watching my.
the market's closed, so I will refresh this page and let's take a look at Nvidia and see where it's at right now.
It's amazing how they're just a bellwether, isn't it?
They really are.
Hmm. They
So far, I mean,
typically
it'll
wait a
probably be a
while.
few minutes before we see a report come out, right?
Cool. Yes. Do you want to get into our other section, Brian?
Yeah, while we're waiting for Nvidia's numbers to come out, why don't you give us an update on your new nut and seed business, Danny? What's happening over
Well,
there?
what I want to do is go in this time, Brian, we've both been in business before, you much more online than I have. I've done real well on Etsy during the pandemic, retailer, wholesaler. So it's not entirely new to us. So what I want to start this as I'm starting it, you want to check out your competition, right?
Okay,
I have an idea. We formulate it. Let's look at the competition. Let's see what other people are doing. So let's pull up a few things, Brian, if you would, on that one.
sure.
And what I want to see is where it compares to. So the nuts and seeds business, like anything, is where do I fit in?
Hmm.
One of the things I looked at is the individual packs, and then I looked at gift sets. And one of the reasons I did that, the individual packs, is if I'm out in the go, I can open up, have all my nuts and seeds at once. It's healthy as a snack and for health play, right?
Right.
And also on individual packs and gift sets, you have a much higher value per ounce. So you can actually charge more. One is for convenient, one is for the gift set. So those are the two I kind of looked at when I went and did this, Brian. So what
Okay,
is
so
the
let's take a
first
look at
one?
this one. The first link that you sent me was Nature's
Okay.
Garden Healthy Trail Mix Snack.
So just briefly, this is a snack pack. These are Nature's Gardens, a big company. But Brian, the big number that should jump away that just leaped off the page there is how many were bought of these in the last month?
Okay, Danny, tell the crowd how many were bought in the last month.
20,000.
Oh,
Brian, this
wow.
item right here,
Hmm.
this one item from one company, only on Amazon, not counting their Shopify site, makes 420,000 plus a month.
Okay, so this particular nut pack is
It's
a
just it's a
24 pack
snack pack.
of 1.2
And these
ounces.
aren't raw. They have some additives in there. That's fine. Just a
Yeah.
snack pack, 24 packs, $21, good price, 73 cents an ounce.
Hmm.
Very similar. I would go much healthier option. Great company though. Beats a candy bar. 420,000, probably 450,000. Think of that, Brian. One item. I had no idea this shit was this big. So
Wow.
let's pop to what go to that Nature's one right there. It's called Nature's. Do the other company if you would.
Um,
To your left of the open tab there, Chief. That's the one. Oh wait, nope, that's the same one. Go to the roastery.
the Roastery. Okay, this
Okay,
is
so let's see this one.
Roastery Coast is the
Okay,
brand name.
so now this is a snack pack as well, right? So this is very
22
similar.
packs, Danny. $26 is the cost. 22 packs in this, and each pack is 1 ounce.
Right. So they're getting a buck 18 an ounce for it, right? Now
Right.
let's look at the numbers sold on that.
2K bought this past month.
So this one, now again, this is one item, one company off Amazon. This is 52,000. Have you ever heard of this company before, Rose Three Coast?
No, never.
No, no one's heard of it, and that's not a criticism. They're making a ton of money. So these guys have a good product. You see it right on there. It's just what is that, six, seven different nuts. It's right on the package. Pretty standard. So you
Unsalted, slow roasted, healthy snack.
Right. So basically, reminding me all raw. These guys have a mix. Nothing too complicated. There's I think a company up in Northern California. Wish them the best. There they are, right there. Some raw, some are roasted. But this is a much bigger business than I thought. So now I kind of know. Okay, these are the snack packs, right? So
Hmm.
there's definitely a market there. Some are more established. This one's smaller, both a little bit different. Fantastic volume, right? By
Right.
anyone's standards. Okay. So let's go over the next one. It says Amazon nuts and gifts there. Go over a little bit more to your right. There it is. Now, this is a gift thing. Okay.
This
If you
is
look at
interesting.
this
Let me tell the crowd what this is. Nuts gift basket for men. Birthday gifts for men. 6 different flavors. Dad, husband. This is definitely geared towards buy this for your dad or a dude.
and what is the name of the nuts they write in the picture there, Brian?
Damn, man.
Right. Now this is these guys do 2,000, they make 74,000 a month. This is one item. Now the price per ounce there is 154. Brian, can you click on the pictures there, little smaller pictures? Get the other ones up
Yes.
there. Keep going down. There, yeah. So yeah, there's a box right there, a little gift box. Go back to one previous if you would, with a lady and the man. Nope. Yep.
Oh, okay.
No, this is just a gift box. It doesn't have that much in there. I think it's like a total of maybe 24. I think it's 24 ounces, but it's a good gift thing.
24 ounces. So each one is 1 ounce. Are these little bags
Four
of 1 ounce?
ounces. It's 6 packs of 4 ounces.
6 pounds of
But
4 ounce. So a
okay,
bigger bag for
right.
somebody to
So it
snack
just
on.
shows there's a market out there. Now here's an interesting thing. I don't mean to call these guys out by any means. Go and click on, okay, this is Damn Man, right? Is there
Damn, man.
basket for men, 6 flavors?
Hmm.
The price is 36.95. Click on the Etsy thing for me.
Okay. So they're selling the same product on Etsy.
And how much is the price?
54. Oh my goodness.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Same
So
thing.
so $20 premium to be on Etsy.
Right. And if you look at the
Wow.
total sales, if you click on that Sugar Plum Confections, which is a company, click on that if you would, please.
Yes, sir.
And that's go to their parent one. Now let's look at their total sales. Wait, go back up.
Hmm.
Look at the total sales of this entire company on Etsy.
5,500 sales.
Right. Now they have how many items? They have 167 items.
Yes.
So it shows you how big Amazon is, right?
Yeah.
These guys also have a Shopify site, same thing, won't bother it. So what does this tell you? There's a market, you need to sell on Amazon, right? That's
You
it.
do need to sell on Amazon if you're going to do this at scale.
Yeah, if you want to make the money, right? Which I do. So,
Hmm. All right,
Brian,
Danny.
before I
So
forget,
so then
hold
what is
on.
your plan? Tell us how do
Wait,
you
let me,
compete?
Brian, I need to jump in there. You had talked to me about what is the boycott of Amazon? What is that?
Oh, good Lord. So Danny
Oh, your
and
tone's changing,
listeners, if you're
Joe.
not
Oh,
aware of
you
this,
sound pissed. Go ahead.
okay. I'm going to rant about this because there's been plenty of boycott Amazon events. And every time it happens, I just cringe because it's such poor messaging about this. So Amazon, if you're not a fan of Amazon, that's fine. Boycotting Amazon if you're already purchasing products from them is a horrible idea to support small business.
Okay, Brian, but before you have to take your heart pills, what is this Amazon about? Or what is
So the idea is
the
on the
boycott?
28th of February, and then there's a couple other ones that are like, oh, the whole month of February, the whole month of March, whatever it is.
Oh shit,
Let's
disaster.
let's boycott Amazon because of their decision for whatever in the world that they're doing.
But do you even know why they're boycotting it? Do we know why?
I'm not really
I
sure.
don't
Maybe
know. You
because they're
don't
tied with
care?
Trump. Maybe because they don't like Bezos. There's been look. This is not the February 28th boycott is not unusual. This happens a couple times throughout the year where some organization, some group will start
Okay,
this
Brian, hold on.
idea.
Let me jump in there before you have an angina. It's also Target, Amazon, and Walmart. I guess that's the axis of evil.
I guess that would be the axis of evil.
Oh, it's to phase out the DEI things, is what it is.
Okay, so I get that. If they don't have
Sure.
a diversity program intact and you want to boycott them and punish them for that, that's That's up to you, right? But I
So
just
you,
want to point out, hold on, Danny, I got to finish this thought.
okay,
And I'm going
please.
to put Walmart aside because it's not the same. Amazon
Okay,
is a completely different company than Walmart with a completely different business plan. And the way
certainly.
that Amazon exists is that it's a huge distributor of all of these small businesses, like
That's
me, like
yes,
you, like all of these nuts.
yes,
These are not Amazon nuts, right?
right,
The
correct.
things
They're
I
all
sell
small
on
businesses.
Amazon aren't Amazon made products. It is a platform for me to distribute these products that I couldn't get into Walmart, that you couldn't get into Walmart or Costco or Vons or wherever. You know how difficult it is? And they only in those places, they'll pick out two or three brands at the most
Yeah,
to put in their
the
stores.
gatekeeper's gone. The
Right.
gatekeeper's gone.
Amazon has no gatekeepers. You want to put your stuff on Amazon, you make an account, you follow their rules, and it gets on there.
Yeah,
So if
and
you
all in
want to
all,
boycott Amazon, don't buy a Kindle, right? Don't buy Amazon branded batteries. I don't care. I don't give a shit about that. But
right.
when you boycott the whole company and not buy the things that that you would normally do, I guarantee 90% of those things are from small businesses like me or Danny that
Yep.
exist on Amazon
Yeah.
exclusively sometimes. Now,
This is the
if you
new.
want to
I mean, it's
if
new
you want
Main
to do
Street.
something great, if you want to do the opposite thing, if you want to have a trend where you're not going to buy your shit on Amazon, then search out those companies and go to their Shopify account or
Right.
go to their Etsy account,
Yep.
right?
I would agree, Bright. Yeah, it's this is where 20 years ago you'd have a retail shop outside of a mall. You would now just have it on Amazon. And sure, it's
Yes.
not perfect, it's frustrating at times, but it is amazing the reach it gives you when you order it and hours later it shows up. Here in San Diego, we have one that you have options, by 10 o'clock between, 4 in the morning today. So
Yeah.
it is pretty amazing. So the key is if you want to have a small business as volume, go to Amazon, right?
Right.
Okay, so what I'm doing first is I'm going to use Etsy to get all the bugs out.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, basically plan Etsy, Shopify, get the bugs out, and
Before you
then
move into Amazon,
go
because
there when you're a little bit more prepared. I've been in business before. I'm a
Mhm.
big fan. It's basically like the pre-grand opening, a
Mhm.
soft opening. That's how I'm looking. Love Etsy, by the way. Another thing, a different type of small business. We're lucky we have two of them
Yeah.
that cover both bases. For me, there's a little bit of a crossover. So that's what I'm doing. So when I look in here and I see the market fit, Brian, it's absolutely there, right?
Right.
I can equal the numbers on those guys that
Mhm.
sell a ton of them. And then hopefully the boycott will not give you a heart attack and also put me out of business beforehand. So,
All right, and
Brian,
Danny,
just
when I have, and I'm like, I've been sharing this nut picture of this great men's gift from Sugar Plum Chocolate Store. If you see it and it's just sitting up there while we're ranting and moved on, remind me not to continue
okay.
sharing it
It's
because
quite the
I just
picture, though.
realized if anybody's watching the video, they're like, all right, man,
Well, hey, listen, we want to do well. It's not quite zero sum. I want to
right,
do well. I'm not definitely not going to trash talk them. I don't believe that.
yeah,
They're small business like me, and I wish them the best. Brian, so on that with the Amazon complaints,
yes.
do you want to tell the story about when you went to sell in Bed Bath and Beyond, how that compared to Amazon with your old company that you sold for over $1 million on Shark Tank? Can you
Okay,
tell that
well,
real quick?
okay, sure. So
Let me
we,
wait. Let me set up really quick. So I'm talking to Brian. He developed what we talked about, a thing called Radiate Campfire. Him and
mhm,
a partner. Great portable campfire. Go to the beach. You light it. Simple. Worked out great. He sold on Amazon. Sold millions of dollars of products, if not millions of units. I don't know what the final tally is because you sold it. You also took it to Bed Bath and Beyond. You contact. So I noticed when you're telling me this story, what jumped out, what a stark difference. And you could tell which one's thriving, which one went out of business. So the Amazon one, you put it out there, you made millions. Now tell us what happened, if you would, a brief history of the disastrous Bed Bath and bankrupt place.
yes. Luckily, we ended up getting paid from Bed Bath and Beyond because
Oh, that's
many,
not a good
many,
sign.
many companies, during COVID, right before COVID, and certainly after COVID, never got paid.
Oh, really? Did not know that.
Never got paid. We were supposed to get paid in 60 days. It probably took 120 or maybe longer. They had multiple problems with the placement of the product, the packaging of the product, and um, boy, Danny, that
It
was
was
just
like Dumb and
that's
Dumber retail, right?
it really
Wasn't it?
was. It was like I could understand how this company went out of business. They were so poorly managed with their product intake and then how each store was going to place it and market it. I was just shocked, especially for like they probably knew where all of the kitchen gadgets were going to go and everything else, but all of the other items that they were trying out or putting in something unique, something impulse item uh, placement was a horrible, horrible situation.
It's
And
just interesting the
yeah,
dichotomy between the two companies. You saw which one is thriving.
yeah,
Just a comedy of errors. Now, Brian, didn't you also put that with at Sam's Club?
it
Was
was
that?
Sam's Club as well, same type of thing. That one was just a test. Some stores where they placed the pallet of radiates did phenomenal. And then the other ones where they were placed in a very strange location did horrible. So
So, so
it's
placement
all
was
about
everything.
placement. Yes.
Okay, then also,
Categorizing it and placing it.
okay, so Brian, as a small business owner listening, how did tell us about the real brief of the brokerage situation where they actually don't buy them from you, right?
Yes.
Like let's do sand clubs. That was the case, right? They actually bought them from you, sold them to a broker. Explain
Yes.
that little deal, which is a standard in this business, which I didn't know until you explained it to me three times because I'm dumb. So
Okay, so this broker had many, many, maybe hundreds of products that they distributed through Sam's Club. They would take a small percentage, I would say small, like 15 to 20% of the sale, but they warehoused it. It was actually, to be honest, that was actually a golden opportunity for us because the logistics of getting them to all the different Sam's Club that we're ordering, we didn't have to undertake. We just shipped it to one location.
Brian, let me jump up there. So you say broker, this is a company
Hmm.
that they facilitate small businesses like you to
Yes,
sell to Sam's Club.
yes.
So how did you get in contact with them? How like if I okay, let's say my nuts business going well.
Mhm.
I want to sell in Sam's Club through a broker. How what was your experience that initial connection, Brian?
Yeah, that actually happened because they reached out to us, which was terrific because we were looking at Costco at the time and we didn't have any uh, ideas for Sam's Club. We wanted to start at a much bigger store count. But during that process, around that time, we were reached out from that particular broker. So he was great. His company was great. I hope he's doing well. But it was really interesting the way that all of that happened. So they got us an appointment down in Arkansas to see the Sam's Club buyer. Took about 6 months for that all to transpire
Okay,
and
hold
get
on.
done.
Let me jump in again. So these guys, you did the famous, was that like the famous Walmart where everyone goes in? The like,
Yeah. Oh my God, this is amazing.
okay,
Because
come on, let's
hold
hear
on a
it.
second. This
Let's
is
hear it.
so incredible because where they're located, they're basically the largest employer anywhere within the 50 miles of this town, right? And there's an airport there that is just beautiful, the most beautiful small airport you'd ever been to. And everybody on that plane from Los Angeles to there, to Bentonville, Arkansas, was going to go into Walmart to
And
sell.
this wasn't a private, this was just an airline
Yeah,
joke, right?
this is what happens every single
Wow.
day as people are coming in from
Really?
all these different states and maybe even outside of the U.S. to sell to Walmart. That is who's in on this plane. It was
Wow,
amazing.
that is wild.
Yeah.
Okay. So you what is that like when you drive up there? You have to wait. You meet with one buyer. Is it a team? Is it a nice office? A dump? Give us the
No, it's not a nice office. We're actually meeting in a warehouse, like a simulation warehouse that
of
they
a Sam's Club.
of a Sam's Club. Yeah.
So this like
It's very
okay,
neat, actually. This is just Sam's Club. So I don't know what the Walmart situation
okay,
is, but for Sam's Club, you're in this warehouse that looks like a giant Sam's Club that is filled with shelves of like one product. You know what I mean? They're like, it's not,
right.
flush with, 40
Just to
different things.
represent what products there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah. It was really neat.
So you met him in there and you did the pitch or give
Yes.
us okay.
Yeah, we did, or I did the pitch with the broker there, and he had other things to sell to him. So I got my 15 minutes with him, and luckily it all went well. We were at a good spot, just we're on Shark Tank and The View, so there was some good
So
interest from it.
that's probably what helped.
Yeah,
That's probably what helped you get there. So you had, was it one person? Was it a
it
team?
was one person. I'm sure he
Wow.
had to run it up the flagpole. I don't know if he was the one that was going to make the
But a
end
good
decision.
experience,
Yeah.
professional.
Very professional, really nice, newest stuff. I had to know my numbers. I had to know, how it would be packed on a pallet, what we would do to support them, things like that.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, it really was. It was a cool
So you
experience.
moved a fair amount of product through there, right?
Yeah, we had a decent test at a good time. It was all on the west. I think we would have done better on the East Coast, but they gave us what they gave us. And that happened in the December before COVID. So before the
Oh,
decision was
wow.
made to bring it in for spring or summer at
Oh,
those,
bummer.
yeah. And so they canceled it once, probably
COVID.
May, probably maybe even a little bit before May, because we were in the middle of COVID.
Oh, bummer. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
you'll never know what happened, right?
Well, yeah. So we had them in the product. The product was in the stores October, November, December. We had good sell through, and then they were going to make the decision after that test for the following year, and we just never had the opportunity,
Okay,
which
let
is
me
fine
ask you
because we
this.
ended up selling it shortly after there anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Brian, in terms of placement. So a placement in a physical location, you just
Mhm.
mentioned how critically important it is, which,
Yeah.
and I've been in retail a lot, it's everything.
Mhm.
So how would that transfer to Amazon? And how would you, is placement just, in your experience, just advertising? Like, how do you place it on that page? Is that all just paid to get on top, or how would you
Yeah.
quantify that?
Yeah, you're going to have some, depending on the company, the brand, but let's take your company for an example, right? Because this is really the
Sure.
question you're asking. You're
Right,
going to need to advertise because if
right.
you don't have an organic
No,
algorithm
no
working in your
booster, no
favor, you're
celebrity, right?
starting from scratch. You're going to have to advertise. So you have to make sure that you have good keywords, good back end keywords in all of your imagery, in all of your text, in all of your A plus content. And then you're going to have to advertise. And in your case, you're going to do probably a small amount towards keywords where somebody's typing in nuts and seeds, snack pack, or whatever. My suggestion to you would be pick these brands that you're targeting that you've given us the information about today,
Mhm.
and I would do sponsored posts that would show up when somebody's on their page.
Right. Can I give you one good keyword right now that would help? Look at Nvidia.
Is it Danny? Oh no.
Just look
Okay.
at Nvidia. Sorry to break in there, but because everyone's entire 401k is based on it.
All right,
Looking
I'm going to
good,
share
baby.
it right now, Danny. What's going on with Nvidia?
We are now up about three for the day and three after hours. Initial good sign. We both knew that can. Don't you have a little thing that goes up right? I can't. Yeah, plus 367 after hours.
Okay,
I
not bad.
think. Let me go
I
back
don't
there.
see it that high though, Danny. I'm
Oh
seeing,
wait. Oh shit. Hold on. It just reversed. Now
yeah,
we're okay.
1% up after hours
Nope,
at
no,
a,
oh boy. Okay, Brian, it's getting I'm gonna drink again. Now it's down two. It was up four, now it's down one.
oh my goodness.
Now, oh boy, not good. Fuck.
Okay, well,
Well,
um
so our
I
next
don't think
our
that's
next
bad though, Danny.
episode
I think
will be
that's
on bankruptcy, I think, Brian, at this point.
I don't think that that's a bad situation with Nvidia.
Okay,
Just where
hold
we
on, let me
started,
jump in there.
we don't want big swings at this point. We want some.
It just swang 6 points in a minute. That's bad, Brian, downwards. It was up three, now it's down.
Oh no, Danny, I'm so
Okay,
sorry.
so let's talk
What
about
else were you
bankruptcy
looking at? You said you were looking at something else too. Snowflake?
for I'm sorry for that. I'm just watching my money go, oh, now it's back even. See, Brian, you panic for nothing. Here we are. Okay, I need to quit. That's like unhealthy. I just need to stop looking at that right now.
You do need to stop looking.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to give you, here's some good news, Danny. Hold on. Let me share this for everyone and we'll talk about it. Snowflake, which is a Danny favorite,
Baby, come on. Let me,
8.5 up.
uh, also a good sign. Not this, I own them,
Hmm.
but that's also a good sign because they're, cloud. Now it's, wow, it was up for a while. Holy shit, they're nice. Was up 13 briefly. Now it's up eight. We'll take it. Okay, so it's don't know what the numbers are, what they mean exactly. So, but we'll take it.
So Nvidia is bouncing just around what it was
Okay.
up today at close. So what we're going to have to wait for, I think, is for him to talk, from Jensen Huang to just tell everybody what's going on with the company. So I don't think it's going to move until that's happening because the
Okay.
numbers are the numbers, right? The numbers weren't. I'm not even looking at the numbers, but anyway, they
Yeah.
had. Let me go to the
Let's just
results,
that'll come in.
right?
So Brian, yeah,
Okay. So
record
record
revenue
quarterly revenue
up
up 12%
12%.
from quarter three, 78% from a
Ah,
year ago.
that is crazy.
Yeah.
78% from the biggest company on earth growth.
Yeah. So there's nothing
That's
wrong with these things.
fantastic.
I think everybody's
Nothing
just kind of waiting to
wrong.
hear nothing
The
wrong.
full year's up 114%. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Why are we selling nuts and seeds?
I
Right.
don't know. You need to
I'm
sell
gonna, you know what I'm
chips.
gonna do? I'm gonna do a bunch of raspberry pies, slap a
Yeah.
coat of paint on them, and just call it a company.
Do you remember Ross Perot?
Yeah, of course.
You make more money selling computer chips than you do potato chips. That
Oh,
was
he's
his
right.
famous line.
That's right, he was. He should never have quit. Damn it, that would have been a game changer. Yes, I do. Okay, Brian, speaking on that, so what do you think the advertising budget would be on Amazon? If someone sells over the course of a year $100 in product, 100 million, whatever it is, what percent do you think they're advertising on? I know it varies a lot.
I would say
What's my
10%.
category? At least 10, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
sure.
yeah, I figured in 20% with margins and all that.
Yeah,
So that's mandatory for that, right?
I think so.
Yeah. That's just, and don't you think that, and I don't know this, I'm not going to claim,
Mhm.
but if you don't advertise, they're not going to, do they delist you or derank you? Or they give people advertise regardless of boost on
Okay,
top
so
of,
they say that they do not. They
hmm,
do not punish you for not advertising.
which I don't disbelieve, by the way, you know?
I don't disbelieve it, but the algorithm has to take into account the
Mhm.
clicks, the sell through, the everything that goes
Peripheral
along
it
with your
does. Yeah.
listing. And if you're
Right.
not advertising, it does not get excel. I don't see how any product is not benefited by advertising. And I don't see how you make a scalable success of any product without advertising. Even Tesla now is advertising, right?
Right.
And it
Probably
really,
not.
they were always advertising. It was just content advertising.
Right. Oh shit. Now Salesforce is down 5%. Damn it. Okay, let's go back to now. I know I like nuts and seeds. You don't get all this shit. So, Brian, if someone's starting an Amazon business, and let's say Etsy's probably fairly the same,
Mhm.
you think 10% is a minimum, maximum 10, 15, 5 to 10? Let's nail
Absolutely.
it down.
I think you have to advertise, especially on a new brand like yours. It has to be in your
Sure.
budget.
Oh,
Unless you're just going to sell in person and you have a store, which is basically,
no.
your advertising front. If you're going to sell online, there's no
It's
way
the
for you
equivalent
to
of
do that.
rent, right? Advertising is just part of paying the rent.
Yeah.
So I had actually figured 20%. So is that high over time?
Maybe I think it's just going to depend on your margins, and you're starting from scratch. So maybe
Sure.
your ad spend is 20, but
Initially, right.
hopefully you can bring it down to 10%.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
What is it? What is hardest for you to sell on Amazon? Because you've sold millions of dollars, Brian, where I'm just starting out.
Um,
What is just the hardest thing about selling Amazon?
I think there's it's it benefits you as a new product on there because you have ease of access, right? And you can put your product up there and you can find like Blue Diamond Nuts and you can put your product right next to Blue Diamond Nuts on the Amazon shelf.
That's interesting.
So that is golden. But the challenge of that is if you're Blue Diamond Nuts, you are now inundated with competitors on your listing. Like if you look oh, I'm gonna bring up, let's go to
We just got a few
this
minutes
Nature Seeds
left,
real
too.
quick, right?
Right.
So if I bring back up this page for Nature's Garden Healthy Trail Mix, right?
Mhm. Right.
Above the product at the top of the page, you can see an advertisement for someone else
Right. Oh yeah. You're
to sell
inundated.
underneath it or just sell against it, right?
Right.
Then you have your product. You have a couple pictures
Mhm.
that you can put in. And then immediately under your product is
Right.
customers also bought, which means that's most likely somebody else's brand. And then you have Explore, which are sponsored posts. And you can see that
And right.
this particular spot is all of their products that they're spending to be sponsored to show.
Brian, why don't we take an episode to go over this? Because this would be fascinating for people, because this
Yeah,
is a
okay.
big piece of the puzzle that you know. You also had sent me a link for an extension. Just describe that briefly for next episode, if you would, what that was. That'll bring it
So
up.
there's a great extension. There's several of them that you can get. This one, all of them probably the extensions are
And
free.
what does it do exactly for me, the seller?
So Helium 10 is the extension and the service that you can purchase. And what it does is it analyzes the listing in either Amazon or Walmart. And if you have the extension active, when you go to a product page, it'll give you a bunch of information that is helpful from a business standpoint. Either it's your own product or someone
Right.
else's. There's a listing health score, so it analyzes your Amazon listing, and it has I forget how many metrics, but
Okay.
it analyzes the metrics of your listing to help you see where you need improvement. It also gives you your product summary of your 30-day revenue, your keywords, the marketplaces, where you stand in each category as far as what ranking you have.
Well, this is essential for an Amazon seller, right?
I think it's an essential for an Amazon seller to have this basic analytics in there. If you
Right.
are Helium 10 works great for people who continually are adding to their Amazon listings, looking for new products to put on Amazon.
And so
But
they
it's
would use this to see which products would be
yeah,
viable for.
yeah. So
Well,
you can see there, you can do a revenue calculator. You can see the what the price point has been over a certain amount of time. Um, yeah, see all the history of it. It's great.
okay. Well, why don't we do this? Because now that we know, so you've seen the market fit, and I've came to you
Mhm,
obviously between podcasts. We know the market fit's there. The
mhm.
numbers for me work out with all the budget to advertising. So, okay, I have a viable thing. I feel confident.
Yeah,
Now the next step would be to use something like this. Now I can take a little bit deeper dive into the data.
yeah.
So why don't we do that next week? That'd be fascinating. Take 10 or 15 minutes to do that. I think it's useful for anyone that is in business that way. So
Okay,
that's
sounds
usually
good.
a good thing, and you've done that. Cool, Brian. Well, good luck on your stocks, Brian. Anything else you got today? Or are we good?
No, we're good. Hopefully, Nvidia will have a good report to the investors, and the stocks will have a nice little rise before everything crashes down as the recession hits.
That's the American
That's
spirit.
the
All right.
spirit.
Okay, that sounds good, and we are out.
That's the pod.